Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Okay, let me share the PPT. Deepak has sent me images from, I think, Pandian book. Okay, and from that, because technical analysis deals with all kind of charts and graphs, and you know, you can draw it in, or you can design or create it in Excel sheet by picking stock prices. Past stock prices may be 1 year or 6 months or something. So only theory, going through the theory may not clear the concepts. Okay, and actually this concept is completely practically applied. So, and if we are talking about graphs and charts, and if I won't show anything, uh, any graph or something, you won't be able to understand the theory part as well. Okay, so I required those images. I could have created over whiteboard even, but let's first try to understand through these images. If you are not able to understand, though after looking at those images, or your book content, then I'll try to draw. Maybe in Excel sheet even. Okay. Actually, I am following Prasanna Chandra, and the images are from Pandian book. Okay, but the theory part and as well as the charts and everything would be similar. Okay, so I am uploading images of R1 or R2, maybe. Okay, that is Prasanna Chandra. Okay, and these images are from other book. So afterwards, whenever I'll be uploading the images, you may see little bit different content. Okay, but I think charts and graphs would be similar, and understanding or reading part would be even the similar. No, not much difference would be there. Okay. So we were at this slide. First is you need to understand the Dow theory. Then after we will be moving to bar and line charts, point and figure charts, and what it indicates. Okay. But how you can plot these charts? You need to first of all decide time horizon. Like you want to draw it for 15 days or 1 month, or say suppose 6 months or something. You want to take daily prices, you want to take monthly prices, but for technical analysis you should take daily stock prices, closing prices. Okay, so first you need to collect that information. You can save it in Excel sheet, and each and every type of graph you can frame in Excel sheet. Bar and line chart or point and figure chart, even calculation of moving averages you can do in Excel sheet. And then after you can, it may be 52 weeks moving average, it may be 21 weeks moving average, and lot many categories of moving averages are there. So you can plot it on graph after finding moving averages, and then you can relate all those, like 52 weeks, 21 weeks, and accordingly you can decide. So what these charts are going to imply, these charts will show you like what could be the base period for buying particular stock, and what could be the trigger point for selling it. Like when you want to buy, whenever stock price is at its bottom, So through this charts you will try to find out those bottoms, okay, and by that way you will try to find out that period at which you can buy. Same with selling. For selling purpose, you try to find out the period or the time at which stock price could be at peak, okay, and if you can predict or find out that time on that particular day or time, you can sell it and have maximum profit. So this technical analysis generally is used by speculators, right? It is for short term kind of analysis, and by finding this trigger points, we'll be buying at particular point of time and selling at the other peak point of time, okay, and by that way you can have riskless profit, huge profits in short term. Okay, so we'll start with Dow theory. So this theory bifurcates movements into three categories. So, stock price movement could be categorized into daily fluctuation, secondary movements, and primary trends. And by plotting your closing stock prices of 1 month, 2 month, or 3 month daily closing prices, you can find out all these three kind of movements, and accordingly you can take your decision. Okay, daily fluctuations easy to understand. Okay, random day to day figures in the sense like how much stock price is changing in a day. So this is first kind of movement on you can see on your chart or graph. So that is daily fluctuations. Second would be secondary movements, that is correction that last for a few weeks or months. So there would be correction in your stock prices. Say suppose like what is primary trend? Primary trend is like we call every time that right now it is a recovery phase or it is a boom period. Right now it is bearish market. Right now it is bullish market. So this type of terms you may be hearing every now and then. Okay, so that is your primary trend. Okay, so in that primary trend even you can have certain corrections like bearish trend or bullish trend doesn't mean one way movement of the stock prices. Like you won't be seeing upward moving straight line for your bullish trend. No, it will always be a zigzag kind of pattern. Okay, so what this zigzag pattern suggests that in each and every primary trend there will be certain corrections. So these corrections are your secondary movements. Okay, so these are three type of fluctuations you will be looking for in each and every kind of chart or graph. So let me show that in image. So this is of Dow theory. Okay, so this type of graph you can have, you can
मैम
plot.
मैंने आपको अभी सेंड किया है मैम.
हाँ, आई
हेलो
थिंक वही ओपन की है 20
मैम.
पेजेस वाली ना.
नहीं मैम, मैं इसके नीचे भी मैंने इमेजेस अभी भेजा है
हाँ
मैंने.
हाँ, ठीक है, वही आई थिंक मैंने डाउनलोड.
इमेजेस वो
अच्छा,
वाला
अच्छा दूसरे भी है.
दूसरे भी है, वो वाले
हम्म
इसके ही है, डाउरी थियरी के.
हम्म, ठीक है, थैंक यू.
कौन?
Okay. So if you plot your daily closing stock prices, you will have this type of trends, any of this type of trends. So on x-axis you will be taking days, and on y-axis you will be taking price. Right? So if this type of zigzag pattern you can see, then this is falling trend line. Okay, so you will be plotting dotted line over here at the bottom, and you can see, this is like decreasing uh, line. Okay, So this is falling trend. Now if you see this type of zigzag pattern, it will be a flat trend. Okay, no upward movement, no downward movement, and all these are corrections, right? Whichever zigzag kind of pattern you are seeing, that is correction. Okay, in this case you can see like zigzag pattern is upward moving, and you can see this line is also upward movements, upward moving. So this is your rising trend. Okay, so first of all you need to plot your stock prices, okay, on like on a graph, taking days on x-axis and price on y-axis, and then after you can bifurcate all these fluctuations into like which is your daily fluctuation, which is your primary trend, and which is your secondary trend. So this three kind of primary trends you can see. Primary trend could be rising, could be falling, or it may be constant over a period of time, stable over a period of time. You may even see flat trend. Okay, so first primary trend is being explained. Okay, this is about bull market. You can see the three picks are being explained. Now why this three picks? If there is recovery in the market, you may see upward trend in your stock price. Okay, then after this is correction. Okay, so for some period of time, may it be weeks or a month, it may again go down and then again it may rise. So first phase would be due to recovery, and recovery may be due to like favorable policies or favorable government rules or something, or boosting that particular industry or something. Okay, so this may be due to revival. Then second would be due to good corporate earnings. So this boost from government or any other policy decision would lead to higher level of corporate earnings, and this would be, stockholders would be checking this through quarterly earning reports of companies, and they can compare over last quarter or something, and they may see that company is again recovering and having a high level of earnings. Okay, so this will be a second phase. Now looking at this type of movement, what speculators would do, they would think this type of stocks as profitable, and what they would think that they can have riskless profit. Okay, so this third phase would be there, that is due to speculation. So this T1, T2 and T3 is showing primary trend, that is upward moving, and that we categorize as bull market, that we call as bull market. Okay, the same is explained for bear market even. Okay, pessimism and all kind of thing like recession or something. So it will start with first type of downward movement, then due to recession business earnings will go down and will be reflected in quarterly earnings report, and again stock like shareholders or traders or investors won't be much interested for that particular time being, so they would start selling, and another kind of bearish trend you can see, downward movement in prices. Now this distress will lead speculators to come out of the market, and again the speculators will start selling. So this is called distress selling, and third phase you can see. Okay, so this again, this T1, this is T1, T2 and T3. This phases, uh, through this you can see the bearish market. So this is bearish market trend. Now below that actual graph has been shown, which is drawn from July 1994 till July 1999, 5 years period. So you can see for certain period there is bearish market, for certain period there is bullish, again bearish, then bullish, and in between whichever upward or downward movement you are seeing for like short term, for a week or something, is correction, and that correction is secondary trend. So this, you know smaller kind of movements which you can see zigzag pattern, which is creating zigzag pattern, are the corrections, and those are secondary trends. Okay.
मैम जो ऊपर B1 B2 है वो बुलिश है, B1 B2 B3।
ये
हाँ बस ये ग्राफ में। हाँ।
ये बेरिश ट्रेंड है आपका, मतलब
और
ऐसे
T1 T2 T3 वो ट्रेंड है ना?
हाँ वो पेक्स है, वो करेक्शंस है। आई थिंक मैंने ये T1 T2 T3 बोल दिया, बट दैट इज फॉर योर दिस बुलिश ट्रेंड, बट फॉर bearish trend we need to consider B1 B2 and B3. हाँ, yes, I told that by mistake. So this is B1 B2 and B3 shows your bearish market, and these are corrections. T1 T2 are corrections, secondary trend, that is secondary trend.
ओके मैम।
Okay, yes. So if you draw a line over here, so you will be seeing the, you know, line which is decreasing constantly. Okay, and in this case, if you draw a line, you can see the increase, upward moving line. Okay, and in this case, you will see downward moving line. Okay. So you need to consider B1, B2, and B3 for bearish market trend. Okay, now this zigzag pattern shows you secondary market trend, and this is reflected in between A and B through a decreasing line. So that could be 33 to 66 percentage of A. So this is A in bullish market. This is your primary trend. So that could be 33 to 66 percentage of this, maybe a correction. Okay, then again it will start rising, then again a kind of correction you can see. So this corrections are your secondary trend in your Dow theory. Okay, and every time you will see for a certain short duration, you will see the corrections in prices. And third is minor trends, daily fluctuations. So no investor is going to look at the daily fluctuations. Yeah, there is intraday kind of a concept, but again, through this technical analysis or chart or something, you won't be able to predict it with any accuracy. So you need not check with, or you need not analyze your minor trends, which are day-to-day fluctuations. So it will be better that you will concentrate over primary trend. You should check for secondary trends or corrections, because in bullish market the corrections may lead your corpus to a huge loss, and in case of bearish market this correction may lead to profit. So yes, secondary trend is also important, but not the minor trends or the daily price fluctuations. Okay, so this was about your Dow theory. Now next is bar and line charts. So how you can read buying point or selling point through a bar and line chart, that we can understand. Okay. Bar chart depicts the daily price change along with the closing prices, and a line chart shows the line connecting successive closing prices. Technical analysts believe that certain formations or patterns observed on the bar chart or line chart have predictive value. For an example, a head and shoulder pattern represents a bearish development. It could be a bearish, it could be a bullish, depending on the pattern, whether it is reverse head and shoulder or whether it is a simple head and shoulder pattern. And based on that, you can predict your bullish or bearish market trend, and accordingly you can decide. In case of bullish trend you can buy, in case of prediction of bearish trend you can sell, right? So let's have it from image. I think head and shoulder pattern is not given, na? Okay. This one is head and shoulder. Okay. So this type of pattern, what it reflects. So this is your left shoulder, then this is head and the right shoulder. Okay, and this is the neckline. So below this, if you draw a line, and if your trend is going below your neckline, then it is implying bearish trend. Okay, it could be even again like after decreasing for 1 or 2 days or for a week, if it start increasing. So if price is going below or above neckline will imply a particular trend. So if it is going below, it is implying bearish trend. So this will be the starting point of your bearish trend. But if it rises, then this rise in prices or rise in trend will imply a bullish trend. So in case if you can predict beforehand, then there could be a bullish trend that would trigger a buying point. And if you can predict this beforehand that prices are going to be low or price is going to decline, then it is an implication of bearish trend, and at that time you can sell if you have already invested. Okay, so another, yes, this is also right. And actual stock prices pattern is also drawn, TVS Suzuki, right? Not exactly like this, but you can see this is left shoulder, then head, and then right shoulder, and you can see the bearish trend. Okay, so if you plot a neckline over here, right? So if this is your neckline, it is going below neckline, so it is implying that there has to be a bearish trend. Now this is another one. This is left shoulder, this is head, this is right shoulder. If you plot a neckline over here, after that it is, see, you can see it is above, going above your neckline. So if it is increasing, it is implying bullish trend. So if at that this point of time, if you can predict that this is like it is going above neckline, and now it will be a bullish trend. So at that time you may have purchased stock of TVS Suzuki, and by that way, in shorter duration, you can have earn this much of profit. You can see, this is something like 420. So at a purchase price of 420, or say suppose 450, because at 450 you can predict that this is going above neckline. So at 450 you may have bought it, and you can see at 600. Uh, this may be maybe 3 months period. So within 3 months period, you have earned 150 per stock. You purchased it at 450 rupees, and you are able to sell it as 600 rupees. But again, this selling point, or this could be a bearish trend. After this could be a bearish trend. Again, you must be able to predict. So at this point of time, it would be a trigger for selling. But right now we are trying to understand head and shoulder, and by that way it is giving you buying trigger. And it at this point of time it had given you selling trigger, यहाँ पे sell कर दो, otherwise stock prices will go below, and you have to sell at certain point of time. You have to sell it at 380 rather than 500 if you have already invested in TVS Suzuki. Okay, same thing over here again, but it is not that bullish a trend. Yeah, this could be one head, left shoulder, then head, then right shoulder. Here you will be drawing your neckline. Okay, it is going below neckline, so it is implying your bearish. Understood? And this is reverse one. Okay, this is reverse head and shoulder. This is your left shoulder, then head, then right shoulder, and if you plot a neckline over here, it is increasing. increasing above your neckline. So it is implying the bullish trend, and you can see afterwards the bullish trend. Okay, this is of Telco and this is of TVS Suzuki. Understood bar and line chart?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So why it is
Yes,
bar
ma'am.
and okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Why it is bar and line chart? Because this reflects one day's price movement through a bar, and then you are required to connect daily price movement. So this will be a line. So bar and line chart. Okay. But again, practically, if you want to draw a line chart, simply this type of line chart you will be able to draw, and again you can identify like what would be the trigger point for buying or selling, or what would be implying post bullish trend or post bearish trend, and accordingly you can take your decision. Okay. Next is point and figure chart. It is somewhat complex than a normal chart. Point and figure chart condenses the recording of price changes by eliminating the time scale and small changes. So this point and figure chart tries to remove your daily fluctuations and again time scale. So over a period of certain time, like exactly at which time price has increased, exactly at which time price has decreased. Okay, but removing daily scale. Okay, you won't be doing it for a particular day. Let's see through it chart. I think it was above. This is your point and figure chart. So on x-axis you won't be taking any time scale. Okay, but on y-axis you will be taking price, and price differential has to be exactly equal to 1. So 1 rupees difference has to be there, or may it be 2 rupees, but not less than 1 rupee. In this you can see a difference of 2 rupees in prices, right? 45, 47, 49, 51, but it won't be less than 1. Okay, now what this imply, it this 53. So you need to check for every day's closing prices, and you will be checking for an absolute figure for each and every day. So may it be like in 2 to 3 days the stock price may have moved from 53 to 55, but if price is uh, moving above, means if price is rising, it will be reflected by a cross, and cross will be going in upper direction. But if in subsequent 2-3 days if price is decreasing, then this decrease will be reflected by this zero and would be downward moving. Okay, so how we can read these figures? Like you started with a stock price of 53 rupees, may it be 3 days, 4 days, or 5 days. So during this period, you can see that there is increasing price to 55, which is your scale. So you need to find out where it had been 55, or in within 2-3 days is it decreasing. So if it is decreasing, you will be going step below, and you will be drawing a 0. Okay, but in this case after certain period you can see 55, then for some more few more days it is 57, and by that way it is in increasing trend. After 57 there can be secondary corrections, and you for another 2 to 3 days you can check the price, and you see that it is now at 55. So you are going a box one step below, and you will be drawing 0. Again for next 3-4 days you are looking at prices, and again prices are declining, so it is now 53. Okay, so it shows you movement, removing your day-to-day fluctuations, removing your very short-term kind of fluctuations. So you can, from this you can see two kind of fluctuations, primary and secondary. If this is going for a longer period, like if it is increasing for longer period, it may be showing you primary fluctuation, that is bullish trend, and after certain time there can be correction and you can see bearish trend. Okay, so this shows your secondary movement, that is bearish trend, sorry, secondary corrections, and this is showing you bullish trend, this is showing you bearish trend. And by that, this way even you can read like for what period bullish trend had continued and what type of correction you can see, in how many days the correction happened, and after how many days there had been a bearish trend, and for how much time it continued. Okay, so this generally reflects the price movements, bullish trend, bearish trend, and the secondary corrections. So this is about point and figure chart. Now relative strength analysis. It is based on the assumption that price of some securities rise rapidly during the bull phase but fall slowly during the bear phase in relation to the market as a whole. So in layman, if we want to understand it, then you need to find out the stocks which are outperforming market. In this sense, those stocks will rise more than the market rise and falls less than the market false. Okay, so that is that you can understand through calculating relative strength index, and that is called your relative strength analysis. Let's see on this. This is the formula. Relative strength index. Okay. This is the formula for your relative strength index: average gain per day and average loss per day. And again, simplifying this formula, it will be 100 minus 100 divided by 1 plus particular. एक minute, huh? Actually, RSI calculation in this book is something little bit different than your Prasanna Chandra, because Prasanna Chandra actually relates it with market and how particular stock is outperforming the market. Like what you are required to do, you first of all will be collecting closing prices of the particular stock. For the same period, you will be choosing one index which is representing that particular industry. For an example, you have any banking stock, then first you have collected stock prices of that particular bank, then you have collected for the same period, you must have collected banking indexes closing prices and the market BSE or NSE or Sensex or Nifty, um, of which it is part. And then after you will be comparing the calculations, like you will be averaging out all the prices and you will be finding the ratio of stock to your industry and stock to your index, and if this ratio is above 1, for an example, your stock prices have gone upper side more than your industry or your market, then this relative strength index will be more than 1. So more than 1 implies that the stock price movement in upper direction is being more than whichever change had been in that particular industry or in market. Okay, for downward trends RSI has to be less than 1. But you can go through this calculations as well, because in exam maybe like numerical may even be asked. I am trying to explain you through practical point of view, like how you can collect the information, how you can plot, and how you can find out those triggers, like when you can buy or when you can sell. But again, this may be asked in your exam, so go through the figures and then after I'll uh, explain that how you can input that in the formula, right? So go through the figures. Okay, first write this formula, write down this formula.
मैं आप वो क्या बता रहे थे, RSI अगर लेस देन 1 होगा तो ऐसा कुछ बोल रहे थे ना आप अभी?
Yes, first you have to have three kind of data: stock price, then industry index, and the Sensex or Nifty. Okay, and then you will be comparing the stock prices, maybe averaging your stock prices or maybe return. I'll show you tomorrow from the images of that Prasanna Chandra. उसमें जैसे calculate किया है, that I'll explain. है ना? I need to show that calculation. Otherwise, without looking at figures, without looking at that image, I won't be able to explain. So let's at least try to understand whichever is covered in this book. Okay. This is absolute calculation. Like you are not required to compare it with industries index or your Sensex or Nifty, but based on price movement of particular stock, even you can find out relative strength index. What this concept tries to explain. Okay.
यस मैम।
So this formula could be applied for 5 days, 7 days, 9 days, or 14 days, and depending on that you will be trying to find out relative strength index. I hope you must have written this formula.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now go through this calculation. This RS can be calculated through this formula average. Okay, so this is the basic formula, and in this RS is given, so this RS could be calculated through this formula. Okay, so I think calculation may be easy. You first will be calculating gain and loss depending on the stock prices. Like if stock price is increased, it will provide you gain, and if stock price has decreased, it will lead to losses. Okay, so this component of denominator you can find by dividing 5.78. You need to divide 5.78 by 0.67. So that is given in the formula. Average gain per day divided by average loss per day. So first you need to average it out. Any doubt in calculation?
नहीं मैम, हो गया.
ठीक है. So bottom line is drawn at 30% and the upper line is drawn at 70%. So the broader rule is if this RSI crosses 70, there will be downturn and it is time to sell. Okay. So first time period at which this line has been crossed by 70 is this, and after this period this is the trigger to sell. So at any point of time, at any day, you can sell it off. If you don't sell till this point of time, it will start declining, right? And if your RSI falls below 30, then this will be a trigger point for buying, right? So after this point, it is going to decline for some time, but after that it will start rising and your trend is going to reverse. So there can be bullish trend, and in this case there could be bearish trend. So depending on this calculation, you can find out certain trigger points. So this line doesn't represent your daily closing prices, but this line represents your RSI. Understood? So if you have chosen period 5 days, so for each and every 5 days period, like for next, this is for 10 days, I think, na? No, 9 days. This is for 9 days. So for next trend, you will be selecting 6, Feb 6 as the first date, and you will be adding 20 Feb or whichever date would be a working day that you have to add, and again you are required to find out the RSI. And depending on those figures, you will be plotting those figures, you will be plotting on graph, and accordingly you can check whether this RSI is going above 70 or it is going below 30. Okay. I allotted you people a task. Na? You are required to go for a Google search and you are required to find out which are the softwares for technical analysis and what type of indicators nowadays investors or analysts are using, because this is like the content of book is maybe before a decade or something, and at that time technical indicators were like this, head and shoulder or RSI or something. Okay, nowadays there could be some other indicators may be regarded as much more reliable than this one. So through Google search you can find out that which are the more reliable kind of indicators, technical indicators than which is given in your book. तो पढ़ा किसी ने? हाँ, पढ़ा किसी ने regarding technical analysis, what exactly technical analysis mean and which are the indicators practically being used? Hello.
नहीं पढ़ा मैम.
कल पढ़ के आओगे?
यस मैम.
Okay.
हाँ मैम, कल पढ़ के आएंगे.
Two things you are required to read, which are the latest softwares being used, because technical analysis nowadays is not done through your Excel sheets or plotting your closing prices in Excel sheet. You people can do, because I think next assignment will be of technical analysis. Through first three phases, you must have led to a conclusion that which two to three stocks you are targeting for investing, right? Through your economic, industry, and company analysis, you must have concluded like this one stock, two stocks, or three stocks I could target for investing, right? So now, on those three stocks, you are required to apply technical analysis. Why? Because you want to find out a buying trigger point. Okay, and if somebody has already invested, or after 2 to 3 months, you may think that actually I have invested. Now I want to find out the selling trigger point, and for that even you this technical analysis will be useful. Okay. तो टेक्निकल एनालिसिस आपको नेक्स्ट करना ही है एंड द सॉफ्टवेयर्स may not be freely available, so you can do it in Excel sheet like plotting a normal line chart or something, okay, on your daily closing prices of whichever stocks you have chosen, or whichever stocks you have shortlisted out of those 10 stocks. But yes, nobody uses Excel sheet nowadays, so you need to find out. First thing you need to find out through Google searches which are the softwares being used, and second, which are the most reliable indicators which can provide with much surety, which can provide you this buying or selling triggers with much surety. Okay. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, next concept I am required to teach you is this slides will be covering tomorrow, but now I want to explain you the important concept, that is moving averages. And again, same like relative strength analysis, it requires certain calculations, but it is not covered in your PPT. So let's cover through this image. I think in your Prasanna Chandra, lot many indicators are not given. So yes, this you can have as reference. Deepak, can you upload this PDF on Google Classroom? So
Yes, ma'am.
okay, so other indicators which are not covered in Prasanna Chandra, you can read, because I think language is too simple and few indicators I have already explained. So by reading and practicing it yourself, you can understand. Okay. Now let's go for your moving averages. Okay. So the concept is moving average, and you can read the word average. Okay, so every one of us know what average means. What average mean? Hmm? Finding a central point. Hello. If you have been provided with, say, suppose 10 figures or 15 figures, then through summing up and dividing this summation by number of observations, you will be finding the central point, okay, middle point of those frequencies or those values, right? Average calculate करना तो आता है ना सबको.
हाँ
Hello.
मैम.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what moving average means, that again, in case of your relative strength index, I explained that first you will be deciding whether I want to calculate it for 7 days, 9 days, or 14 days. Now, we took example of 9 days, in which one day, the first day, you eliminated, and the additional day after 19, that is 20th February, you added. So what you are doing exactly in third calculation, you will be eliminating second day also, and you'll be adding 21st Feb, right? So what you are doing, you are going for a moving kind of calculation, and that's why it is called moving average. So you can find out it for 5 days, 21 days, 52 days or something, but how you can make it moving, eliminating the first day in your calculation and replacing that day by the addition of one more day in your calculation. Let's see. 3, 3, 6. 8 days closing price is given. Okay. And you are in this particular case, it is 5 days moving average. ये बुक में थोड़ी गड़बड़ी है. 5 days has to be taken ना, दोनों 3 4 कोई भी हिसाब से calculation match नहीं हो रहा है, because 4 5 6 and 7, so only 4 days will be there if you count even fifth one. So 4. Let me explain you concept, then we'll go for that images from Prasanna Chandra, and we'll try to see how these days have been taken. Okay, so what this 5-day moving average means, you need to you need to find out average for initial 5 days. Okay, so say suppose consider this as 3 days moving average. So what you can do, you can add this 3 figures, divide it by 3, and you will have first period's 3-day moving average. Now for second calculation, you will be removing this, replacing this by particularly this figure. Okay, so in next calculation, you won't be considering 255. You will be considering 273 for your calculation. So for next calculation, it will be 261 plus 269 plus 273 divided by 3, and this figure you can have. So this is the concept of moving average, and you need to decide the horizon. Even if you check for, check on this website, money.com or something. So you can find readily available already calculated moving averages. So this even you can check today regarding moving averages. किसी ने वो try किया था? मतलब going for another kind of searches, you may have come